Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, if you aren't new here, welcome back. Today I'm going to be going over all the books that I have gotten recently and do a little book haul. Some of these you have already seen because I posted a video earlier today that had to do with these ones, but we will go over those when we go over those. Actually, those ones are the ones that we are starting with first. So the first two books that I have bought recently, I actually did buy these ones, are Truly Devious and The Vanishing Stair. And I actually read the entire trilogy, but the third book hasn't come out yet in paperback. I think it's coming out really soon, so I'm waiting to buy it in paperback because I prefer paperbacks. And I don't like it when I have series that are different versions. Like I like them all to be either like all hardcover or all paperback or whatever. So yes, I just got these ones. The Truly Devious trilogy is about a girl, Stevie, who gets accepted into this really exclusive high school boarding school, and the reason she was accepted is because she has a special interest in criminology and true crime, and in particular she wants to solve this murder mystery that happened to the founder of the boarding school back in the late 1930s. And so she's accepted into the school, and that is her goal. She starts looking into it, and then over the course of her time there, some of her classmates start getting murdered, and it turns out that they are related to the kidnapping murder case back that happened in the 1930s. So I really enjoyed this series. If you want to, you can go ahead and watch that vlog. I will have a little thing pop up there if you so choose to watch it. Next I have When They Call You a Terrorist, a Black Lives Matter memoir by Patrice Concours and Asha Bondele. I really hope that I pronounced their names right. But I got this in a book box that one of my friends sent me for my birthday, and I'm really excited to read this. Over the past year, it's been a goal of mine to start reading more books written by authors of color, and just like that have to do with material pertaining to the lives of people of color in America, or just the people of color that just live in the world, you know. So yeah, this, and especially with the Black Lives Matter movement that's going on right now, I've been trying to read more anti-racism books. So this is one that I am definitely excited to get into. Alright, next I have City of the Plague God, which is a Rick Riordan Presents book. So it's not written by Rick Riordan, it's written by Sarwat Chadha. And because it's part of this Rick Riordan Presents book, it is a middle grade fantasy that's based on a certain mythology. This in particular is based on Mesopotamian mythology, and that's kind of all I know about it right now. This is the arc. Let's see. This one comes out in January. And for those of you that don't know, one of my majors was archaeology, and I had a focus on classical history. One of the many papers I had to write for it was actually really focused on like Mesopotamian history. So this I am really excited to get into because there's in a lot of stuff about really ancient civilizations. Like there aren't a lot of books that are based on ancient civilizations and like their cultures and their mythologies. So I'm really excited to see what this one brings to the table. The cover is really reminiscent of The Lightning Thief, which just always brings a good like nostalgia to my heart. And going along with that kind of mythology theme, I have Lore, this is also an arc. It is by Alexandra Bracken. I don't know a whole lot about this one either. It is coming out in January also. Every 7 years, 9 Greek gods are punished and they are forced to be mortals and hunted down by descendants of ancient lines that had a kind of vendetta, I guess, against those 9 gods. And the main character, Lore, or Lore, I suppose, she is a descendant of one of those lines, and she walks away from that. And like a couple years later, 2 other participants seek her out and get her to help them rejoin the hunt. And I don't know, I was really attracted to the cover, so that's mostly why I got it. And I really love Greek mythology, so I'm really hoping I like this one. And the next one is Take a Hint, Dani Brown. I think this is the second book in a, I wouldn't call it a series, but it's like books that are related to each other. So the first one is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. They're both romances. I have not read Get a Life, Chloe Brown, but I know that there's a lot of diversity in it, and I just love a good romance. So I'm really excited to read this. I think this is going to end up being a buddy read with one of my friends. So yes, I'm excited for that. Oh, and this is by Talia Hibbert. Okay, next I have an actual Rick Riordan book. This is a Percy Jackson one. It is The Last Olympian, which is in his original, like his first series. So yeah, this is the last book in his first series. I don't actually remember if I ever fully read that one through, but it is my goal eventually to reread through all of Rick Riordan's series because they just brought me a lot of joy and they really kind of were a big part of my reading experience when I was younger, so I want to go back and reread all of them. So I'm starting to just build up my collection of his books. The next 2 books are books that were sent to me by an Australian publisher, I believe, and they were sent to me because I work at a bookstore, and on our bookstore's website we have like an About Us page where it has like all of like me and all of my coworkers little profiles about us and like just the books we like and just, I don't know, little blurb about us. And the publisher took a look at the profiles and sent some of us books that they thought that we would like. So the first one that I got sent was The Scottish Boy by Alex de Campi, and as far as I can tell, it is a historical fiction, potentially a historical fantasy, about King Edward III. So I don't know, I don't generally read a lot of historical fictions like this one. I think the only one similar, like along a similar vein that I've read was Outlander, and that I'm assuming is going to be a lot different because that was like really romance heavy and it had a slight magical twist. I don't really know what this one has in store, but the cover is really beautiful and I am really thankful to the publishers who sent it to me, which is Unbound Publishing. So if someone from Unbound Publishing ends up watching this, thank you so much for sending this to me. The next one that Unbound Publishing sent me was Places I Stopped At Along the Way. This is a very short book. It's a collection of essays about just growing up living in New York during this girl Meg Fee's college years, I believe. Because it's quite short, I'm more inclined to read this one over The Scottish Boy, mostly because of the length. Really thick books tend to intimidate me. But yeah, this one sounds really good and I do like the cover quite a bit as well. Okay, the next one is one that I actually got as an e-arc a while ago and then I never ended up reading it, and it was in the donation bin at my workplace, which are books that like damaged, that we can't sell and we can't return for whatever reason back to the publishers, so we put them in donation boxes where either we can take them, or if no one takes them, they get sent to libraries or other like bookstores and stuff. So this one is A Castle in the Clouds by Kirsten Gier. This one looks like a contemporary romance, possibly set at a hotel. The main character works at this hotel, and the patrons, or the guests of this hotel, are not who they appear to be, and adventure ensues. And I just really, the cover really spoke to me, and I love a good romance adventure story. So I'm excited to read this one. I also worked at a hotel when I was in college for a little bit, so hopefully I'll identify with the main character a little bit. Last, but certainly not least, is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. As you can probably see, I don't have the dust jacket on that, and that's because this was also in the donation bin at my work, because it was the dust jacket in particular was pretty heavily damaged, so I just took it off. I'm gonna throw it away. Oh god, it's one of my neighbors. Anyways, yeah, this one is about Prince, I don't know a whole lot about it, but it is about Prince Nikolai and like his struggles with like ascending the throne of Ravka, I believe it is. So I've read all of her other books, including Ninth House, so I really love her writing. She's one of my favorite authors, and I'm excited to read this one. Okay, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you also have hauled books recently, I would love to know what they are. If you've read any of the ones that I hauled, let me know how you liked them. If you liked this video, feel free to subscribe. If you want to follow me on any of my social medias, they're going to be linked down below. There are also other links to different cards down below pertaining to just the various issues in the world right now. They have petitions that you can sign, informative links that you can go to, things like that. I also have a voters registration link down below. That's it. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Bye!